Так, значит. Hey guys, can you hear me? All right, cool. And you guys can see my screen, right? And probably you can, okay, you can see me as well. All right, cool. So let's get started then. Okay. Let us introduce ourselves first. A little bit about TestPro, who we are. So we started a year ago in November 2018. We are, of course, a bootcamp. 90% of our students get offered in 6 months after the graduation. Some of them get offer within while studying on the course, and 73 students already got hired. That's the statistics for the last year. And let's talk about agenda a little bit. So today, of course, introduction about QA and bootcamp in particular, and then we will start digging into how to test, and we'll have a practice session and questions and answers, of course. So we are not just a bootcamp, we actually a community. So as of today, we are around 3,000 people in the United States, and those are QA professionals, not just random people. We're all QA professionals. So all the slides with all the photos that you can see, these are real events that we host. So feel free, if you're curious to hear more, feel free to join our meetup group. You can see this QR code right here. And we are largest group, meetup group. We actually in Los Angeles, we are largest ever. We are bigger than the Python development group, for example. So yeah, you can find a lot of presentations about like interview tips, technical stuff. And if you in one of the cities that we are hosting meetups in, you can join and enjoy the networking and of course free food and everything. It's pretty cool events. Alrighty, so these are our team. Evgeny Kim, he's here with us.
Hi guys, my name is Evgeny Kim. I'm a co-founder, and yeah, I've been in the industry for more than 5 years so far. And can you turn the slide? We have yeah, that's what we did. I personally, I don't have a background from in tech in particular. I don't have a degree in computer science. I was like similar like you, passing through the boot camp, and I was working for in 5 different companies. Can you switch the slide, please? Yes, and you can find me on LinkedIn if you want. I posted there almost, I mean, the whole history is there. You can check it out. You can see, you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, in Telegram if you're there as well. So please join and free ask me in direct message if you have any questions so far. My last company where I used to work was company Verify. It was acquired by Visa recently, and I used to be there as that. And yeah, that's about me. Thank you.
Alrighty, so yeah, that's me on a slide. The same thing with me, never had any computer science degree or any education of a sort related to tech world. But some time ago, a few years ago, I started my QA career, and since then I worked for Disney, for example. I worked for Toyota, and my last company was a principal software developer in test, working for United States Federal Census Bureau. And this is kind of, I think, the biggest achievement. Basically, according to my manager, I saved the quality of the project, and that's a federal event that we're gonna have next year, Census 2020, right? So I worked on one of the projects over there. So I'm really proud of that. Yeah, you can find all these links, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. That's all about me. And we also have Azat with us today.
Hello, guys. Yeah, this is me. I like my last company before like TestPro. I used to work in Try Market. I'm not sure if everybody heard about Try Market, but basically this is like e-commerce application which sells like all organic food. Pretty much the same thing as a Whole Foods, but the thing is they do it online. Before Try Market, I used to work as a at Beachbody. It's like a famous workout selling program located in Santa Monica, Touch Commerce, and so on and so on. So like I feel like around 6 years in a tech industry, especially like in automation. My last position was the lead. I was leading like as that department at my company, and pretty much like I was doing like trainings for people who wants to become like automation engineers. And yeah, and again, this is my links. I'm also doing a lot of presentation in our meetups, so you can like find them in our YouTube channel. And this is my LinkedIn profile and other social media. So like you can reach me out and ask any questions.
Yeah, it's a very good addition, I think. It was actually my responsibility as well, basically training SDETs in my previous company. We also have a couple of more people who worked on this course. So this is Marina. I would say she is, her biggest achievement happened last October. If you have kids, you probably heard about Disney streaming, Disney Plus service. So she is a QA lead who is leading quality assurance team for that project. And that's a worldwide really project that, I mean, Disney is the largest company in Los Angeles, at least. And we also have Tatiana, and she's working for a company who does resorts, for example, Mammoth Mountain. So she tested those lifts when you take it, when you want to get on top of the hill. So she's actually responsible for that, so, which is pretty cool. You guys also have a coordinator of this course. It's Anna. She's not with us today, but you will see a lot of posts from her, and she will be a resource of help for you. But it's not it. It's actually, our bootcamp is over 20 people. So you can see our headquarter photo on the left. So these are all people in Los Angeles, but we also have people from basically around the globe. Have people from New York, Colorado, and many other places. So a bootcamp is actually pretty big. Okay, so now it's your turn. I'll show that to you a little bit later. So we're gonna use a Slack chat. So once you create a profile over there, please post your selfies so we get to know each other, and also post your name and some cool fact about you, like we did. Okay, so let's talk about why technology, why tech industry. So first of all, it's a top 10 fastest growing occupation. So in fact, there is 1 million postings in the United States that there is just no people to fill those places. And I believe the total loss for United States economy is something about $1 billion, something like that, because of that. And it's top 5 in most in demand jobs. So that's a secret of why it's so popular, why you don't need to have any like computer science degree or anything just because of very high demand. And because of that, of course, median wage is pretty high. So the compensation is, we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but average wage is around $50 per hour, and you can make like way more than that. And geography, all major cities are covered, and not even major. We're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. And you can also find a remote job. Like I was working for almost 2 years remotely. Okay, let's talk about benefits a little bit. So, of course, the money side, not like money directly, but a lot of stocks, 401k, pension plans, bonuses, insurances, all that provided by companies usually, which is normal for tech. There is another one, entertainment. So, for example, my previous company, we had a game room with all the possible games you can only imagine, free sports tickets, we had massage, office over there, yoga and gym, food and drinks, a lot of activities like happy hours provided by company. Yeah, a lot of booze actually. That's crazy. IT people, they just drink while working in the office. It's okay. Another cool thing, it's different types of leaves. So maternity, paternity leave, unlimited vacation. That's my favorite, really. And it's very hard to find unlimited vacation anywhere, really. But tech companies offer that. It's normal for them. Unlimited sick time, for example, is another cool one. Different disability insurances and so on. And environment. It's usually very friendly, very cool. People are so happy. Of course, there is some stress, but overall, it's just, I think it's the best environment it can ever be. Of course, you can work from home, which makes it even better for some people, for some not. And work schedule usually is very flexible. You can start earlier, later, and so on, drop in the middle, whatever. So, yeah, environment still. So you can see this GIF image. It's actually real office in tech companies. And the reason is there is a lot of events going on, like Nerf Wars. So this is corporate-wide Nerf war in the office. And it's normal for tech companies. Okay, so let's talk about geography a little bit. So this is a workforce map. You can see basically, these are the largest hubs in the United States, but we're gonna talk about that in a couple of minutes. It's not the only really hubs. So this is another breakdown of like cities. Of course, San Francisco is the biggest, we all know. San Francisco and Silicon Valley, New York, San Jose, and Boston, Los Angeles, San Diego, like basically all major cities. All right, what is actually software testing? And it's really nothing but being a user, but before users see your product. So you're gonna be just using whatever application you're working on as a regular user before those users gets that application. And you're not just guessing, it's based on requirements and specification, and those are provided actually by another team members. Coding is not required, so which makes it unique comparing to, let's say, programmers. To become a software developer, like junior level, it takes a lot of time and effort. You have to know like a lot of frameworks and programming languages and all that. Here, it's not the case. So the bottom line, it's really not complicated. So why software testing and QA? QAs are actually, it's a less stressful job comparing to developers or managers, which is fact, because of the not coding is required. Interview is much easier. So the bar is really set very low. At the same time, because it's still considered to be a development kind of technical position, it's very important and secure job. There is a lot of room to grow once you get into the field. It's just the beginning. and it's in top 5 in-demand tech jobs. Actually, it's harder to find a QA or tester than, let's say, front-end developer, which is a fact. Low entry level, of course. Compensation is actually 10–15% less than developers, so it's much easier, but the compensation is comparable actually. And there is no formal education because universities just don't have that degree. Okay, let's take a look at from a different perspective now. So on the left side, you can see there is a Glassdoor. This is a resource where you can search for a job and you can find a lot of cool things. So you can see this is search for QA word in the whole basic United States. So you can see Glassdoor shows 59,000 jobs is open in the United States. On the right side, you can see a LinkedIn, which is professional kind of social network. It's a very well known, especially in the tech world. You can see if for the same search, we get 113,000 results. So, well, that's why it's very well known in tech world. A lot of positions, actually, more positions than on a Glassdoor. So it's like hundreds of thousands positions open right now. When it comes to Los Angeles, for example, Glassdoor shows 2,400 positions open just in LA today, and LinkedIn shows 1,800. So around 2,000 positions open just in Los Angeles. But you can ask, like, okay, what's the deal? Like, yeah, Los Angeles is huge. What about like smaller towns? So here is just a random example. Panama City in Florida, population 37,000 people. You can see there is 72 jobs open in that town right now. So basically, you can really find a job anywhere. It doesn't really matter. It's interesting. QA for United States Department of Defense. All right. Let's talk a little bit about money. So once you get to the field, it's going to be your first job. We refer it to QA analyst usually. So the average salary for you QA analyst is around $60,000 per year. You can see again, it's average. You can make a little bit more, a little bit less, but it is what it is. It's in Los Angeles, which is national average actually. So the next step, once you grow technically, you become QA engineer. And for QA engineers, the compensation is around $76,000. It's a little bit higher than national average, but again, it's just average. Then you can learn automation and become automation engineer, and the salary for these people around $94,000 a year. And that's not it, of course. There is a next level called SDET. So as we stated before, I was principal SDET, as I was lead SDET, and Evgeny was senior SDET. So we were all senior position SDETs. You can see average is 135 for that position. Of course, can be plus minus. But what's interesting, so this is on a Glassdoor, this is my company and my position. I took that screenshot some time ago. So you can see it says the average for my position in my company was between $154,000 and $196,000. And because I know the drill, that was basically me. I can confirm that, yes, that's the money they pay here in Santa Monica, in Los Angeles. Actually on the higher end. It's not the only company who offers that much of money in Los Angeles. I pull up some, I did some research, and these are the companies that offer similar compensation. For example, Microsoft, Disney, Hulu, Marvel, semiconductor. It's a hardware company. So it's not the only company, really. There is a lot of companies. And another one that I prepared for you. So on the left side, you can see a screenshot that was sent to my friend. And the guy offered him a job for $130, $140 per hour pay, which is actually much higher than $200,000 a year. And on the right side, you can see a screenshot from Netflix. That company is famous of its corporate culture and the compensation rates. And I know a couple of people who makes $350,000 a year over there. So there is a lot of room to grow comparing with the QA analyst. Okay, here is our program. And we actually offer not just one bootcamp, it's actual career path in QA. So starting with the manual QA, QA analyst, through automation and API automation and SDET. So if you're already working as a manual QA, of course, you can jump on the next one and boost your career to the next level. But today we're gonna start, it's just the beginning. So let me tell you a little bit about Bug Hunter, about this course. So it's gonna be 100% online. We're gonna cover a lot of practice. So what makes it different and unique, we're gonna be practicing with the real projects, using real techniques and real tools, which most of the boot camps actually, they just give you a theory, and we all know theory doesn't just stick. So at the same time as well, we're gonna do actually one meetup next week in Pasadena. If you're from LA, feel free to join us. It's a free event, learning event, I would say, and it's just fun. And it's a tech companies alike environment, so it's not like a boot camp. I really want to say it's like your first job, but I cannot, obviously, but it's very close. And first two sessions are free, so this is our first session, and we have a lot of slides to go through, so I'm not gonna stop for a while. So this is our curriculum. We're gonna cover SDLC basics, and then we will start writing defects actually today. And test cases are planned for the next class. We're gonna talk about different types of testing actually today. Cross-browser testing on different simulators and cloud services, application architecture a little bit, browser console, front-end, back-end, and so on, and web application. We're gonna be testing real application starting today. And by the end of the course, we're gonna talk about how to get a job, how to prepare for the interview, and that's it. Let's start with our schedule. So Tuesday and Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. If you miss or you have some other plans, that's okay. We're gonna post all the videos, all the recordings. I'm gonna give that link to you a little bit later. But of course, I would highly recommend you to be on a live class, because again, most of the boot camps or online educational platforms, they only give you this pre-recorded sessions. No, here we are doing it online, live. It's a great opportunity to ask questions and get some feedback. Okay, we're gonna work with the following tools: Jira, Confluence, and Zephyr. This is the most popular tools, actually paid tools. The tools are very expensive, in fact, and most of the companies use them on a daily basis for software development purposes. Slack chat, again, this is another tool that you probably never heard about, but it's one of the most popular chats for tech companies. I'm gonna give you a link today so you can install it, and all the communication we gonna be doing over there. And Zoom, probably, if you able to connect, this is what we use for webinars. Again, a lot of companies, tech companies, use Zoom these days. And then another batch. So Google Chrome browser is going to be our primary browser, but we're not limited to just that one. We're going to cover DevTools. We're going to use Coggle for mind mapping, which is test planning, and Browser Stack and Sauce Labs for browser compatibility testing a little bit later. All of those tools are very in high demand, so those are keywords really for your resume. Okay, this is our project. Well, logo, which we will dig in deeper a little bit later. It's a web application for matching contractors with a client, so basically for construction purposes. That's gonna be our playground. There is a production website, means that actual customers can use it. But we, of course, gonna be working in a different environment, in a test environment, like sandbox, where we can do basically anything. Okay, so question of the day is what actually testers do? And testers break things. Of course, not like this, but in a different, little bit different way. So here I prepared simple explanation of software development life cycle. So this is the first topic that we're gonna cover today. And this is how development is going on in companies. It's very similar to a restaurant experience. So there is a customer orders something, but the way customer talks and the way cooks speak, these are different languages. So that's why there is a translator, and it's called product owner, like a server in a restaurant. So he gets an order and delivers to the kitchen. In our case, kitchen is development team, really. And there is a lot of cooks on a kitchen, and those are developers, so they do stuff. But there is a special role, and it's called chef. So a chef actually tastes what they cook. So basically, before it goes to back all the way back to customer, chef tastes that and figures out if it's like what they ordered or the quality is good enough to be served. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again, request a feature, product owner create a story, then developers write code, QA performs testing, and it goes back on a table and customer basically accepts it, right? So this is in short software development lifecycle. So the testing in particular, that number 4, it's a process of verifying and validating if a software is bug-free and it meets all the requirements. So 2 major questions here. Validation, so are we building the right product? Like, is it the right dish at all? And verification, are we building the product right? So everything is wrong with the product. Is it like salty enough, sweet enough, and so on? Okay, so 5 major activities, and we're gonna cover them all during this bootcamp. So the first one is bug hunting. It's actually activity to find, to search for bugs. Once we find the bugs, we need to report them somewhere. And reporting, because it's going to be a lot of defects reported, so we need to a place, central place we can monitor and track the status and history. Then we need to prioritize the defects. And because not everything will be fixed, really, some of the minor things just doesn't make sense to fix. It's okay to go live without fixing them. And this is going to be our second class. And then we will start writing test cases, which is another major activity. And a lot of interview questions are asked about test cases. And in the end, we're going to combine both techniques, and we will do some story testing against requirements. So that will require us to find bugs, report them, and write test cases. All right, so what's a software bug then? And basically it's error in a computer program that causes incorrect or unexpected results or makes it behave in unintended way. So whatever is wrong is basically a bug. According to this slide, we have this nice breakdown of the bugs. We can see some of them are design, which is number 2 in the list. Sorry, in popularity, right? In occurrences, but number 1 is actually functionality. 34% of defects are functionality defects. And we're gonna briefly go through all of them. It's important for us to understand this concept because we're gonna be looking for defects pretty soon. So let's start with the design defects. You can categorize them in 5 different ways. So layout, font, color, content, and images. So for example, as you see on the screen, this gray box actually overlaps the TestPro logo at the bottom. So you can consider it to be a defect, actually, a UI defect. So layout defects are usually the following, like misalignment, like staircase effect, or resize defects, overlapping like the one that I showed you already, missing content or images, or sometimes spacing, like too many spaces, like unwanted space, like 2 or 3 spaces, or vertical spacings, and so on. So it can be a font-related issues. Sometimes developers can use different type within the same family font, or it can be completely different fonts. Sometimes it can be just the size of a font, and so on. Color, of course, like color mismatch. Sometimes a very frequent one is when button should be disabled, usually like gray color, but then they forgot to change it back to original color, so it looks like that you cannot really click on it. Content-related defects like upper lower cases, mismatch of letter words, images are wrong, spelling mistakes is actually one of the very popular one as well. And this is an example from Chase iOS application. As you can see here, there is, I mean, it's not like very kind of critical, but it's not really nice, right? Chase app, I think they could do a little bit better, but there is a text that overlaps with an image over there, so I can hardly read it. There is a functional testing, and this is when we test the system against requirements. Basically, it's something like, sometimes people refer to black box testing. And in that case, you don't know how it works under the hood and you really don't care. What's important for you is when you do something and it's called stimulus or user action, the system gives you some response back or system reaction. And you only focus on those 2 things. You never get into the implementation details. So that's what makes, I think, the whole QA analyst job is just great. You don't have to know what's inside. So basically, yeah, there is a user action, there is some reaction, right? So in most cases, user clicks something or enters something and something should happen right away. This is another defect that you can actually check out right now. If you go to LA Times website, it's a newspaper, and scroll down all the way to, we call it footer, the gray box at the bottom of the page. You can find a terms and service link over there and click on it, and you will get to this page. Which is terms of service, and it's actually a legal document. It's mandatory if you want to launch an advertisement, for example. they will not allow you to do so without legal documentation. So if you click on this mandatory arbitration link over there, you will see that you will actually see this, which is really error message in the beginning, that this connection is not private, which is kind of not what you expect to see, right? But then even if you click like continue, whatever, you will get this message down there, not found. Which is, again, are you expecting to see like not found when you click on a document? Certainly not, right? So it's a bug. And because it's a legal related to legal issues, I would say it's very important, but it's been over there for at least a few months already. Nobody's fixing it, which is kind of weird. So yeah, this is definitely a major bug, and you will find a lot of them. For example, another one that I found some time ago, I was shopping around for car battery. And I ended up actually buying it at Home Depot online. Why? Because they don't charge a core fee for that. The interesting thing that core fee is actually required by state law in 30 of 50 states, including California. So it's not something that they can choose to charge or not to charge. It's actually mandatory. It's a law. So on the right side, there is a O'Reilly Auto Parts screenshot for a similar item. So once you add that to your cart, it shows $18 for core charge. Home Depot actually charges core charge if you buy it in store. So the funny thing, I had 2 car batteries in my cart. One I bought online and another I bought in store. And in store was like 20 bucks more expensive than the online. So I ended up just giving it back because it was brand new. This is how you can save money, okay? Again, caused by a defect for sure. And Home Depot is actually losing some money because of that, probably. Okay, there is another type of testing called compatibility testing. It's when you check your application on a different hardware, operating system, networks, mobile devices. These days we have computers, Windows, Mac, we have mobile devices running on iOS, Android, and can be phone, it can be tab. So with different screens, for example, iPhone 10 screen is different from iPhone 6 and so on. So imagine how many different combinations we have. Yes, your application should work fine on basically any of those permutations, which is not, in real world, it's not the case. You will find a lot of defects related to these things. This is one of the compatibility bugs examples that we found in our bootcamp. We worked on some other test project. And if we open that website using Internet Explorer, just the homepage, we would see nothing. So this is actual screenshot, just blank page, just white box. And definitely it's a critical bug, and we report that to development team. They fixed it the same day because it's very important. Okay, another thing is localization testing. And the reason here is that, so the definition is that we need to check that our application behaves in accordance to local culture or settings. For example, on your Windows, you can change your language. You can also change your country. And because of that, your currency format and date and time format will change. So here's an example on the right side. On the same test application, if you change the language from English to, let's say, French, you will see a couple of elements actually get translated to French, but most of them actually are still English, which is it's just a bad user experience. If you don't have translation, don't just say that you can switch the language, right? Another one is performance testing, and it's usually determining the speed and responsiveness under the workload. So like a Black Friday sales, for example, here. And it's actually applicable to online retail business as well. A lot of volume of customers, a lot of purchases are made just in about that time. And it's very important for business to actually handle that. So here's an example. Hope you guys know Kylie Jenner, which is the youngest of Kardashians. So it wasn't Black Friday, but she launched her lip kit for the first time in 2016. And she got 200,000 users on her website simultaneously at the same time. And as a result, site went down and, well, of course, she sold out very quickly, but some of sales got messed up. For example, some users could add a product to a cart, but they couldn't finish. And at the time it went up, it was sold out. So of course they were pissed. So she had to apologize. And this is a screenshot of her Snapchat at the time. This is exactly how she felt. But we're not gonna cover performance testing. It's way more advanced for this particular course. Another one is usability testing. And it's really a method of evaluation, how easy your website or any application is to use for the customer. So I think it's a great example here. It says like to start, press any key, and the user is like, huh, where's the any key on the keyboard? Of course, there is no such key, right? This is one of the examples of usability bugs. It's Hawaii 2018, when all the, basically all the people from that state got that alert message. This is not a drill, it's a ballistic missile threat, which is kind of scary, huh? And then, of course, a little bit later, they posted that, no, sorry, it wasn't a real threat. It was just by mistake because someone just clicked the wrong thing on a computer. That's a quote. Why? Because, again, usability issue. They had two similar buttons next to each other, so the person who was responsible for that just clicked the wrong one. That's why it's better to use like different colors for them and so on. And yeah, that's very scary to see that on your screen. Security testing, this is basically a technique to protect your data basically against hackers, right? But for our course, we're not gonna, again, dig deeper too much. It's very advanced. These guys make like 7-figure salaries and very hard to find, but it doesn't really necessary to know. So this is a real example from Apple. January 2019, 14 years old Arizona boy found a defect in Apple FaceTime, iOS 12. Basically, when if you would call someone on the Apple device without actually accepting the call in a FaceTime, you could get access to recipient camera and microphone. So basically, you could legally spy on anyone that you know who's in your address book. And they had a hard time trying to submit that defect. Why? Actually, major companies, they have bounty programs. And Apple bounty program pays up to $200,000 for this bug. So in the end, they accepted this bug and they fixed it already. Nobody disclosed like how much money the guy got paid, but $200,000 for such a bug, right? Not bad. The funny thing that the guy could sell it to some third-party companies because they would offer more. Why? Probably they would file a lawsuit against Apple, and because Apple is such a large company and profitable company, it wouldn't be $200,000, probably would be like multi-million-dollar lawsuit or something. So that's why how important it is. Okay, so how are we going to find bugs? The easiest way, it's called ad hoc testing. Some people will refer to monkey testing. Monkey testing, I think, is not the best wording, but whatever. And basically, it's a type of testing when you just do the testing randomly. So we don't have any plan, you don't have any documentation, you don't know how it works, you just do random stuff. Once you found a bug, let's capture a screenshot. How to capture, so this is depending on the system that you use. These are the shortcuts that you can use to capture a screenshot. So it's a very good practice to prove yourself that there is a bug, capture a screenshot and attach it. Okay, once we do so, how we are going to actually log defects. So we're gonna use the Jira, as I mentioned before. That's a URL. What you need to do is to go there. It's a jira.testpro.io. And then just create your account there. Please use your real name. Do not use nicknames. It's gonna be very hard for us to understand who it was, how to contact you, how to give you feedback, and report the bug. And I'm gonna show you how to do so in a second. Okay, 4 things here, 4 major steps. So first of all, make sure that the type is set to bug. And we will need to write a summary. So it's a like very concise summary of what is wrong. So for example, I'm gonna show you that to you shortly. And then description is a little bit more descriptive than a summary, of course. Over there, please mention the browser and steps that's required to reproduce that issue. And of course, what you would expect as a user and what actually happened. And a screenshot, of course. Okay, let me show you actually how to do so. So I'm gonna switch to another browser and navigate to Jira TestPro.io. Of course, I already have my account over there because we're using this for quite a while. So once I'm in, I just need to select appropriate project. In your case, you only gonna see one project. Which is this, and there should be nothing at the moment, well, just some tests. Okay, let me show you the defect that I found so you get a taste of it. So I'm gonna go to our application. Oops. So this is the application that we're gonna search for a bug. And here I found one particular defect here. So if I scroll down, you see these logos: verified, authorized net, secure trust, trusted commerce. So if I click on secure trust, there is another, so that was my action. So the system reaction here is I'm getting to some page where it says like, okay, this credit card and identity information are secured and compliance is validated, right? Which is all good. But for example, if I click on the first one, authorize.net, we get to a page and it actually says unable to verify site, which is kind of weird, isn't it? Like, why would you even advertise that? But if you click on it, it actually says that I'm not able to verify site. So this is a defect here. Let me actually log it in Jira. So I open Jira, I click this create button on top of the page, and I will see a create issue model here. So yeah, this is the project. You will only see this particular one. Issue type, that one should be set to bug, right? A defect. Now we need to write a summary. So what will we write here? Basically, following this slide, where, what, and what is wrong. So for us, it's authorized.net, what's the exact wording of that? Verification is missing, right? That would be my very, very concise summary. And now I'm going to use this environment tab and specify my browser. So I'm using Chrome. I believe it's latest, which is 79, Chrome 79, and it's a Windows platform. Well, it's not really a browser dependent, so it really doesn't matter, but sometimes it matters. So that's why I'm doing this. And in description field, I'm just gonna say what are the steps that I need to follow. Anyone needs to follow in order to reproduce this, because we're writing this defect for developers, because usually it's assigned to developers so they can fix it, right? So there is a purpose. Even if you write it for yourself, if you open your own defect in, let's say, a month, you can actually struggle with understanding it. So it's a real world scenario. Okay, so my steps here are going to be navigate to home page, right? Because, like, where are we? This is a home page. So the second one, click authorize.net icon from the sidebar. So this is the sidebar on the left, the black one. And that's basically it. So these are the steps that I need to write. The only two things that are missing right now, it's first, it's expected result. So new window gets open, right? And my expected result the verification, what's the, one more time? So basically the website should be verified over there, right? But actual result website is not verified. And to support that, because sometimes sneaky developers, they can actually fix it before you log it, and then they will open it. They say like, no, it was always fixed. So because we want to be smart and safe, we can just capture a screenshot. So the keyboard shortcut for that is Windows Shift S. And now I can just get a screenshot of this window. Boom. And I can really just paste it here. No, I cannot. Okay, now I can. So it's already here, as you can see. And what I need to do next, just to click Create button. So you can see there's a first bug got created in the backlog with all this information. So it's really simple as that. I'm seeing some chat messages. Okay, cool. So yeah, we will, if you have any questions, guys, please feel free to post them in the chat of the Zoom. We will answer them by the end of the class. Where's the presentation? Okay. So now let's have some fun and actually find some bugs on that website. There is a lot of them. I know that for sure, like dozens or maybe even hundreds, no joking. If you open any website, you will actually find a lot of bugs. Of course, if you try to find bugs on Amazon or Google or websites of companies of that size, you will hardly find anything, even though they still have some. But because the teams are big, resources, they have a lot of resources, so that's why there is not that many for us. Luckily, we work we're going to be working on smaller projects or on early stages, and because of that, there is a lot of defects that we need to find. So, okay, let's practice. So what you need to do is navigate to that website. Let me actually post that link in a chat. Yeah, we're gonna stick around for another 30 minutes and the recording will be available shortly. And yeah, copy of slide deck, of course. I'm gonna show you that shortly. Okay, then once we found something, feel free to report them in Jira. Of course, you need to create an account first, and it's simple and it's free. And don't forget to attach screenshot and a short description. All right. Okay, let's do it, guys, all together. And please, if you have any questions, like if you found something you're not sure or you need some help with like logging bugs, please post it in a chat. But what you really need to do, just open the website and just start clicking through it. Bugs are everywhere. Just be a regular user. So that site is not opening for me. It's like the browser is stuck. That's interesting. Sounds like a critical defect for you, but probably it's on your side something. Maybe, yeah, try to refresh the browser first of all. Maybe try to open a different browser window. For example, if you're using Chrome, you can click a new incognito window like this. And then just navigate there. So incognito window will clear all the cache, all the history, everything. So it will really should act as a regular, like brand new user, first time user. Okay, yes, of course, guys, I'm gonna send the link for Jira in a second. It's really this one here. Yeah, guys, you can use any browser. You can actually use a mobile browser, or you can even do it on your phone. I don't think it's the best idea really to log the defects from your phone directly, even though I believe it's possible. But mobile devices, I would say, are for content consumption, not for kind of content creation, especially in tech world. Of course, you can record videos and photos and log them in your, post them in your Instagram, but usually when you work, that's not what you do. All right, so Jane said that she cannot create a new account. And let me actually see what's going on here. So guys, were you able to create your Jira account already? Okay, there are two types of registration, which I should select. So basically this application is for, it's like a market, like a bidding place or marketplace for contractors and for actual customers. So customers create a task and they're looking for contractors who will do some like home improvements or whatever services they need. And those contractors supposed to bid on, give them their offer when it comes to price, right? And okay, and this is how it works really. So there is a task, there is bids, the customer selects the winner, and then they sign the contract and work on the task, on a project together. So basically with ad hoc, it doesn't really matter. You can, it's actually, you can do both because the panel is going to be different, like the dashboard is going to be different, and the features are different for customer and for provider, because providers, they bid, consumers, they kind of don't bid, but they select the winner, right? So based on the flow, the application will behave differently. And for us, for ad hoc testing, I would say both scenarios are legitimate. So you can do only one of them. You can do like both. Just try to randomly play around with the application. That's it. So I see that Galaxy S9 Plus successfully created an account, but Jane says that she cannot create an account. So have you guys logged anything already in Jira? Come on, it's gonna be the first. Okay, so it seems like Lyubov is logging a defect already. Hold on, you did what? You logged the defect already? Oh, created an account. Okay, got it. All right, so any luck, guys? So in Jira, you need to click this blue button on top of the screen with the create label on it. Okay, so seems like there's a person who cannot open the link. And what's the link that you cannot open? Is it Jira? Oh, actually, sorry, hold on. It's actually HTTPS Jira. Could be actually this one. Test Quidos. Yeah, try maybe to open it on maybe on your phone, for example, or it's hard to say really. I mean, so you can see it works fine for me, and I know some people are fine as well. No, it works for me really. Yes, guys, so this is not, we call it production website, which is available for actual use for real customers. So this particular one, testquidos.tk, this is a test environment, this is sandbox. So that's why we can really do anything we want here, but please be professional. Don't write any rude or any like discrimination related text. Just try to kind of keep it nice. If you create a new offer, just give it okay name. Ideally should be something like, I don't know, fix a window, right? So it's related. don't try to, please do not write anything inappropriate because it's for contractors, right? So let's keep it professional, like a work ethic. But yeah, fake info is okay. You can write like any company name, any phone number, just random phone numbers. It's okay. Okay, so there is something. Let's see what it is. Some empty ticket from Oleg. And another one. Okay, but let's do the actual stuff, guys. Styles of offers are very inconsistent. So what do you mean? Like the color? So if you're talking about color, then it's probably a different state of the ticket. So some of them are closed, some of them are new, and so on. So that's why it's colored. What I would say by just looking at this screen here, you see there's only 3 tickets on the screen right now, but we have this arrows here with a 1 in it, and it's called pagination. So usually when, so for example, if I Google something, right? Like whatever. You see there down here, there is a pagination, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So and that one is done really to kind of, just to show you a little set of data and save some backend time, really, some resources of servers. Okay, let me actually do it for you maybe. So I'm gonna create the Jira account over there. So I'm gonna go there in incognito window. Here I'm clicking sign up. I'm gonna use some email, testing email. My name here, username and password, sign up. Oh yeah, sorry guys, so it's actually not the Quidos project, but yeah, it's correct, it's first project. You should only see one project in Jira, that's fine, which is this first project, yes, right. Because I'm admin, I see like all of them. That's a little bit confusing, but it's easier for you. Okay, so once I sign up, it says stay connected, click here to log in. So now I just need to use whatever I entered previously, which is, I believe, this. And my password was something. Okay, what's wrong with this now? Messed it up a little bit. Sorry, just a second. Yeah, so once you are in, you just need to create an issue. Yeah, it's called issue or it's called ticket. That's like an item. In our case, it's going to be a bug. And we will get familiar ourselves with other types throughout the course. Yeah, on a MacBook, let me bring that slide back. All that you need to do is there's that. Okay, this is the slide. So for Mac, it's command plus shift plus 4. So that 3. Okay, so finally get something. So while you guys still logging your issues, let me see what's in there. So the first one, missing image. So Maxim says that, okay, unfortunately, I don't see, okay, I do see on the header of the website, ads column, missing image. Oh yeah, I believe that's a legitimate issue, which is, so if we go to homepage, so one of these banners on top here, right? That's interesting because it shows all the images for me. But could be an issue because I believe I actually, I couldn't see an image like yesterday from my another computer. So it could be an issue based on something that we really not aware of. But let me go back. There is a screenshot here. Oops. Oops. Where is that? It's right here. Yeah, definitely on this screenshot, we see that the image is missing the learning site. The learning site is, so you're missing this romance and dating. Probably that's what it's, I mean, it looks okay to me. So what else? Test. Okay. Anything else? So I'm gonna delete these ones for now. And this one as well. And this one as well. Okay, it seems like we got another one in the system, which is very happy to see. So what is that? Ask for password reset and expected result was not achieved. Okay, I think the summary could be a little bit shorter, just like you cannot reset your password or something like that. So after asking for a password reset, the screen showed the password has been sent to my email, and then you logged in. Oh, it logged you into the site. So there was no email about like, please reset your password or enter your new password or something like that. Am I right? Could be just a delay, but oh, okay. So you asked for password reset, but it wasn't resetted, right? But you were logged in somehow. You're supposed to be kind of logged out, and next time when you log in, you should use a new password, right? So yeah, it definitely sounds like an issue. So yeah, just feel free to log it. All right, so let me switch back to my presentation. Well, we found at least like what, 5 defects or so already, just within a couple of minutes, including registration in Jira as well. So, okay, so let me go forward. All righty, so here's the homework for you for today. So this is a link. Let me actually post that link in the chat as well. So this is a link for our course. Once you navigate to that link, you will get to Learning Management System, which will look like this. I'm already enrolled in this course, but what you need to do is create your account first. So once you create your account, you will have access to all of these lessons here. So there is a couple of short lessons how to use this platform. And this is the platform where we're gonna store everything, all the materials and all the recordings and slides, everything. So briefly just go one by one, read it, watch whatever it says to do, and then click Mark Complete. That's how you will be progressing. So you see the progress bar on top of it. It says 0 complete. Well, yeah, I've never clicked a button, so that's why. There is some information about like code of conduct and hardware and software. So Jira, some of you already created an account. So here's a little bit of information about Jira and how to create account. Zoom, and what's the most important here is our chat. So please feel free to download Slack. This is a special IT chat. Most of the companies use that. Once you create your account there, there is a link where you can join our channel. Please post your photo with your name and some funny fact about you. It's called Icebreaker, and this is, once you get hired in a company, this is what you'll do. So there is no different for us as well, because especially when it's online course, you guys can see me, can hear me, but unfortunately I cannot see you really. And then just go one by one. So there is this class, first live class, intro in bug hunting. So there is a link for Zoom. If you forgot it, it will be always here. There is a video placeholder. You see, video will be uploaded soon. So once we stop recording, once we finish our class, we're gonna upload the recording here. So we will be available for you. And this is the slide deck Today's presentation is all here. You don't have to download anything. It just should work from your browser. So all for your convenience. Okay. Okay, hold on a second, guys. We almost there. Just wanna switch back to my presentation. I believe we only have like one slide left. Okay, there is another bug logged, which is cool. Like that. Okay, I don't need this one. And there's a lot of panels on my desktop. So yeah, please enroll to Learning Management System and just go one by one all the way to the second live session, which we will held on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's all in LMS as well. One more thing, this website has a lot of issues, we know that. So we're gonna do some sort of competition for you guys. You see, it's not that actually hard to find those bugs on the website. So for the person who will find the most defects and post them in Jira, like we started doing, we're gonna give away $200 worth of credit. And for second and third place, we're gonna give $100 and $50 accordingly. So I think it's a nice way actually of making some money, guys. All right, so yeah, just be active, and the more you log, it actually helps you better understand the process, because it's all about practice. That's why the typical online courses don't work, just because theory doesn't stick. Once you start applying the theory in your knowledge, you will actually get results. All right, and it's almost about time, so we have a few more minutes left, so let's go through your questions. So about this particular question, how much is your course? So this particular one is $99, and first two classes are free. So this is first class when we started searching for defects and using real tools, log them in Jira. And the second time, the second free class is going to be about prioritization and test cases. So those are two major activities, but we're gonna have 4 more sessions where we cover more test cases and story testing and how to actually get a job. So there is another question from Dmitry. Azat, you want to answer that question? No? Okay, so there was a question if you can find a part-time job. Yes, that's actually, we will give you a foundation for that, and we will show you exactly how to do so. So after this course, you can find a job, and we're gonna have a guest on the last session, on the last class, and that guest will tell you how to succeed with that, because yeah, there is a lot of opportunities for you, part-time and remote as well. This particular course is 2 weeks long, so it's 6 sessions in total. What else? Yeah, if you want to speak up, I can unmute you guys, so you can just give me, just raise your hand or just type in the chat and I will unmute you. Okay, that's a very good question, Lyubov. So she's asking about what, so you don't log duplicates, how to avoid that. Yes, there is a technique. We're not gonna cover that today. It's requires little deeper knowledge of Jira, but that's how you would do it in a real life. Instead of creating duplicates of the same, you would need to find existing ones first. But for simplicity, let's just log everything that you found. It doesn't matter, because if you found a defect and you logged it, I feel it's fair really to kind of, I mean, you did the job, right? You put some effort in place. So, I mean, that's what important. Okay, another question is, should we log one defect per report? Yes, correct. So one defect per report. Try not to put like a lot of them, a lot of issues in one. No, just do one by one. Okay, question about automation. So Selenium automation and automation in particular, it's a next level. Even though we covered that as a part of next course. So automation itself is really not possible without knowing basics, because even if you go on the job market, automation is super hot. They pay six-figure salaries. There is literally no one to do the job. No one. It's super hard to find an automation engineer. But it requires you, first of all, understand the basics, manual testing, I mean. And second, which is more complicated actually, you gotta know programming languages now. So automation, I would say you need to learn the basics first and then automation. So there was a question about if you wanna do a homework, you should pay $99, which is not correct. You don't have to pay anything. You can do, you guys all have access to Jira and Slack, and you don't have to pay anything. We will, next, on Tuesday, we will see how many defects you guys found, and we will award the winners on Tuesday. And again, you don't have to pay for that in order to be awarded. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I can see guys raising hand. Are we finding all the bugs on Quidos? Yes, correct, guys. This is our test project. Please just click around and try as many, find as many bugs as you can. I know there is dozens of them. Okay, so I'm seeing people are raising hands. Give me a second. So Randall, you wanna speak up?
Yes, I just have a question. First off is about how to pay for this, and then I had another question too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So the first question is what? How you supposed to pay for the course?
Yes.
So you don't have to pay for now, and
We'll send the link.
Yeah, we will send you a link on your mailbox. Really, that's how we would do it. But yeah, you probably haven't received that link yet, so that's okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. What was the second one?
I forgot it.
Okay.
I had it written down, but I forgot it.
Okay, no problem. I'm gonna mute you for now. If you remember, if you have another one, just raise your hand again. I will unmute you. And we have another one from other person. Hold on, sorry, I lost you. I believe it was, who it was, guys. Could you please raise your hand again? So yeah, this one is 2 weeks only. So this is a very first level, just to get familiar yourself with what really is testing is about, and it's really simple. Automation is the next one. So for automation, yeah, it will take a little bit longer than that, but it's all doable. Another one about, if you will not find a job, do I have to pay? I mean, you will find a job, for sure. That one is gonna be covered on 6th class. So I'm seeing that Randall, hold on, let me. Okay, so Randall.
Okay.
Another one?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry. My question is, much like, say, CompTIA or A+ or Security Plus, are there certifications for QA testing that we could get to help advance our careers?
So the answer is yes and no. So there is a ISTQB certification, or American version of it, which is ASTQB, but it's really not that formal. It's more popular in Europe. I know people who has that certification. For example, myself, I don't care. I don't think it will help you much, really.
Okay, thank you.
But there is no formal education when it comes to like universities, for example. They do have, for the rest of the team, development team, they do have diplomas like computer science degree, for example, for developers, right? Or
right.
Project management. There is a PMI certification for project management. There is a like business analysts and so on, but nothing really for QA. It's a unique position.
Okay, thank you.
But again, because of the high demand and very low supply, they really don't have that luxury. So they don't even ask. Most of the companies, including Google and Apple, they don't ask for like a university degree. That's, you
okay.
can Google for that. Yeah, it's open information for public.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so I believe there was another one. After opening Jira account and further, what goes where? I think I'm lost there. Okay, so yeah, in Jira, you just need to create your account. Once you're in, you just need to click that create defect button. I don't think we have time really to repeat, but you can watch the recording. We're gonna post it like in about an hour or so in learning management system. And you will get notification on your email as well. So guys, do we have any other questions? Maxime, okay, hold on. How long the course will take? It only takes 2 weeks, six classes. It's very intensive, and I hope you enjoy it a lot, really. We will cover like most of the QA responsibilities for QA analysts. Okay, any other questions? Yeah, please raise your hand if you have any questions, because yeah, we're running out of time. Okay, so for the resume, yes, we will have a last session where we show you how to actually do so and show you examples. Oh yeah. Oh, Matthew. So yeah, there's gonna be another full-blown course, 12 weeks. That one is gonna be for QA engineering. So we're gonna cover much more into details, including API testing, including databases, including automation, actually. So yeah, to answer another question, that one, yeah, we're starting basic course January 25th. All right, any other questions? Yes, guys, please feel free to find those bugs on Quidos, only that website. Why? Because it has a lot of them. Oh, Matthew, you wanna speak up? Okay, please feel free to say something.
Yeah, so my only thing is we have this one right here, which is the 99 you're saying, and then after that will be the 12-week one that you guys talk about.
Sorry, could you please repeat?
Sure. So this course right now that we're doing, the 2-week one, after that is going to be the one that you guys offer, the 12-week one. Am I correct?
Yes, yes. So that one is, as I mentioned, yeah, that one we will cover way more in deep, and including some technical topics. This course is just to get a taste of QA, and actually it will be enough to start working as QA remotely. But if you want to get hired in major companies, for example, our students, I mentioned 73 students got hired last year. So a couple of them, 3, I believe, got hired in AT&T. We have one Verizon, we have Samsung, we have, I believe, Panasonic.
We have Facebook.
Oh, we have Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah, so for if you want to be hired in those companies, that's, yeah, the second course, basic course, 12-week long. That's that one is particular for that reason.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, any other questions? So the automation class is as a part of the next course, the basic one, 12 weeks one. We're gonna cover very basics of automation, so you get a taste of it. But automation is way more complicated than basic. So we have another course for that. In the precondition, you have to work as a manual QA, or you need to at least know some fundamentals of QAs, because Once you start looking for automation position, they will be asking you about how would you test different things, crazy things sometimes. How would you write me like a defect, and all of those questions that if you're not familiar with QA at all, you will fail the interview for sure. So we will give you answering the next one. Oh, hold on, could you repeat the homework? So that's the one. So for homework, what you need to do is register your account in LMS and just start learning one by one. So including, you will see like a Slack, you will see Jira and all of them. And even this competition, you will see that one as well. What else you asking about, like years of experience? So that's a good question. Two things there. So first of all, you don't have to have 3 or 4 years of experience in order to get a job, which is true. We actually have a video on our YouTube channel with a company here in Los Angeles who hired 2 of our students with no experience, and they're super happy. They actually hired 1 student first, and if you watch that video, spoiler alert, they actually say that that student knows more than most of their QAs who works for them. So they actually ended up hiring second one. That's the first one. And the second one, because we're gonna be working on 3 different projects throughout the course, covering SQL, API, that's more than enough for you to get a job. And the good thing of that is that you can use all of those projects. Those are real projects. They've been on the market and they have customers. So you can use them in your resume, because people from companies, they will be asking you about, like, tell me your experience, how did you test this, what was your project, and so on. You will answer all of those questions.
And actually, let me add here something. I know this very popular question about the years of experience, but how you think, guys, how do you think, guys, about those people who is already working? How did they start, right? We all start from zero, like anybody else. Anybody else, you have to do the first step, and that's pretty much it. And obviously, like requirements and the market is the job market itself. Obviously, they want to get most of it, but there is a lot of internship programs. There is a lot of actually junior positions. It is competitive market, obviously, right? Everybody wants to have people with more experience, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible to find a job. It doesn't mean that it's impossible to get without an experience. And we have a proven record that we have students without any experience, they got a job. So you gotta be creative. You gotta be creative to get a first job. It's not gonna be easy, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. So, and that's why we're here. That's why we're here. That's pretty much it. I hope I answered this question.
So, okay, there is, what was that?
Yes, let me help. The people was asking, like, Lyubov, I believe she was asking, should I stick to that course if I paid for another one which is 12 weeks? Yes, please stick to that course. It's very descriptive about the test of QA, about the software testing. So, especially if you don't have any background, that's perfectly fits for you. So please stick around.
Yeah, and I would say here that, yes, please stick to this course. You will not regret, I promise you. So there is a question about Florida. Yeah, there is It's very hot, not only just the weather over there, but the market. We have like countless number of people who got hired in Florida. I don't know what's going on over there, but it's super hot market.
Let me, Dennis, he just not saying because, you know, Florida, but really, especially like with the first cohort of our bootcamp, 50% of students who got hired first was from Florida. Actually, this particular Tampa, Orlando, this areas at that time was pretty hot in terms of jobs. But yeah, Florida is pretty good. Do we get any certificates after course of this completion? Yes, we will provide the certificate. However, as I said, even we provide the certificate, that is not the main thing. That is not the main thing. The main thing that is you should be able to put your experience in this bootcamp into your resume, and actually you will get the hands-on practicing knowledge, and not just, you know, certificates doesn't help by itself, because anyway you have to prove whatever you put in your resume. That's the main goal. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I would add here that after the graduation, if you successfully graduated from the bootcamp, you will get your certificate along with our references. And the top performing students, we actually, we work with different companies, and we actually place the most successful students.
Yes, let me dig into that as well. Recently, we got partnership with 3 companies, one in San Diego and 2 companies in here in Los Angeles. So we will do the mock interview with their hiring managers, which meaning is that if they will like you, despite that you don't have the real working experience, but you have you graduate from the boot camp, and there are some certain requirements that you have to meet in order to go to this mock interview. And we personally, I am and Azad, we do assessment of those candidates. So before sending them to the mock interview, we do another mock interview. So, and then you will have a chance to go interview, to have an interview, and you might get hired as well. So we are working very hard on that part. So, and that should help. That should help. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I like that you guys ask questions.
Yeah, very active group. Let's check. Oh, that's pretty much it, right?
No, I think we answered all of them. All right, so I think if that's it, guys, please do your homework, and we will see you on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, and we'll send, for those who wasn't participate on this session or want to rewatch this session, we'll send you an email within, hopefully today, but most likely you will get an email by tomorrow, and with the link to a learning management system that Dennis posted earlier. And yeah, see you on Tuesday. All right. All right. Have a good day.
All right. Bye, guys.